I don't even know how to start this video, but I'm just going to try to get to it quickly for once in my life. Is this an apology video? In a way, but it's more than that. I've been wrong for many years. In fact, over a decade at this point. I've been debunking and doing my crusade for truth. And I was wrong. Maybe not all of it. I don't want to be dramatic, but a good 99.9% of everything I've ever debunked, or the truth, or once and for all, and those cringy titles just to get clicks. And I can't hide it anymore. I have the data. I have the academic information, and I just have to share it with you. I'm just going to have a list. We're going to cover all of them, and this is the one video. So I'm going to start. There was new evidence published by the University of Berkeley in California, and they demonstrated without any shadow of a doubt. We have genomic sequencing. Cleopatra was black. We found their body. We did the sequencing. DNA, I was wrong. Not only that, but it just makes so much sense now why the whole Ptolemy family, they were all black, by the way, because, you know, they were inbreeding and whatnot. And that's why they moved to North Africa, because they couldn't stand to live together with the Greeks, colonizers and whatnot. And so they moved to North Africa because that way they could be among people that looked like them, because the entirety of the Egyptian race, they were all black. Do you remember when I made this video about the Vikings not being white, possibly being Muslims and all that, and I was like being the usual arrogant clown that I am? I mean, come on, look at this guy. He could be my brother, and he looks like a Southern European because that's what the Vikings looked like. Not only that, but it's clear that there were plenty of gender non-conforming Vikings. It's a truth. Transgender Vikings is a thing. And let's talk about gay. I've spoken a lot about ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Ancient Rome didn't even exist, and I'll get to that. But we spoke about that. Oh, the Greeks were all gay, and I'm like, I'm going to debunk it. So I was Googling, and I was finding, but there were some gay among the ancient Greeks, but they weren't all gay because there were also heterosexual people. But as I was doing my research, I found something, and I hid it. I hid the data, and I'm ashamed of it. What I did find out is that it wasn't the Greeks that were all gay. It was the Carthaginians. Yes, every single Carthaginian was a homosexual. They were all gay. And that's why they lost the war with Rome. They ran out of people because they didn't reproduce. Gender is a social construct. And male and female are racist, by the way. If you say male and female, it's racist. I understand it now. Gender is a social construct, which means it doesn't exist, right? It's made up. And there are 87 of them, genders, that don't exist. Everyone gangster talking about the N-word that we shouldn't say, the F-word that we shouldn't say. It's the AS word that we shouldn't say. That's the reality, and no one has the courage to say it. Anglo-Saxons. There is no such thing as the Anglo-Saxons. It's a swear word. It's dehumanizing, and I'm ashamed. I really need to check my privilege. Not only am I ashamed because I defended it, even though there were all of these universities that I've debunked, they were all right, because it's obvious. These are big professors. They speak from the pulpit. Academia, science, that's what you do. They say something, they preach, and you say amen. Not only the Anglo-Saxons never existed, and as a word is clearly discriminatory in nature, but I'm one of them. That's why I'm disgusted by it. I'm ashamed of my colonial roots. I'm just going to say it. I'm not Italian. I made it all up. I'm from Blackpool, England. Okay? I'm not from Italy. As a child, I was born in Blackpool. Then they moved me around, took me to Wales, took me up in the north, took me down south, moved me to London, and that's why I sound weird. I said I was Italian because people were asking. You know, when I first started my channel 12 years ago, people were like, wow, your content is really cool. You got a helmet. Where are you from? What am I going to say? England? And they're going to be like, oh, that's disgusting. Well, are you white? So I just said, look at me. No, I'm from Italy because they've got a flowing language, the flowy hair, which is a wig, by the way. And there are a lot of other things that I figured out. Rome never existed. Only one single character that actually exists in history is Julius Caesar. He was a playwright and he was black. Anne Boleyn was black. Queen Charlotte was black. Aragorn was black. Full stop. Shakespeare was a woman, by the way. And this is about the evidence. We're talking history here. Destiny's based. Hassan Piker is a true American patriot. But there is another thing that I found out, and I found this one out 5 years ago, and I just kept my mouth shut. You're here for the truth, I'll give you the truth, even if it destroys my reputation forever. I mean, at this point, I'd rather do this. The Earth is flat. It's a disc. It's a fact. The ball, come on, that's problematic. You can't seriously believe we live in a ball. So like, you mean that I'm here standing up here and then there is someone literally standing upside down on the other side of the planet? Just pack it in for a moment. Math is racist. 2 + 2 = 4 equals the hard R. I think the only way I can get forgiveness for what I've done is if I actually participate into decolonizing the curriculum, not to mention all of those white statues. White supremacy ruined my life. It's everywhere. My headphones, white. The stand, white. Remote control, you'd think they make it blue. No, white. My lamp is white. And all the white statues in Italy and Greece, where did that come from? There is no such thing as the Y chromosome. We're all female. We live on stolen land. Billionaires should not exist. Tax the rich. Universal healthcare. Healthcare is a human right. Unhoused. Do not dare to say homeless ever again. Check your privilege. You know, I really want to thank you for providing me with a safe space here where I can express my truth. I said it. I'm switching sides and I don't want to hear it. And also, April's Fool's bitch. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.